and addressing this particular address, because like this is a your topic is very interesting, and that will be enlightening us for the many various research areas in pharmacy practice. So and what more to say about Manipal? Naam hi kafi hai, like what we say. And we would like to visit your department once with your permission, to know more things about pharmacy practice. So
Yeah,
a
you can
warm
come,
welcome to
madam.
you.
Welcome at any time. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And yes, over to you, Pooja.
Can I start?
No, no.
Hello.
Pooja.
Yeah.
Hello.
One of our faculty members
Hello.
will introduce you formally, sir, and then we'll
Yes.
start. Yeah.
Yeah, no issue, no issue, no issue.
Pooja.
Let me know that.
Good morning, all. You all are welcome to third and final day of ICT webinar series titled Role of Clinical Pharmacist in Emerging Healthcare Scenario. We are privileged to have Dr. Girish Thunga for this session. He is currently working as Assistant Professor, Associate Professor in Department of Pharmacy Practice, Manipal College of Pharmaceutical Sciences. He has 8 years of teaching experience and 3 years experience as hospital pharmacist in the areas of inventory management and patient counseling. He has authored 50 research papers and 4 chapters in book. He has received more than 5 travel grants and 5 research paper awards in conferences for scientific paper presentation. He has successfully executed many industry collaborative projects with reputed pharmaceutical companies like Ranbaxy, Magna Healthcare, Novartis, and AstraZeneca. Dr. Thunga is also an active member of Training and Placement Assistance Center of Manipal College of Pharmaceutical Sciences. He has successfully coordinated 3 clinical trials, including 1 global trial. He is also a secretary of Periodic Safety Update Report and Committee of Kasturba Hospital, Manipal. He is known for his active participation in hospital pharmacy services and other healthcare aspects. He has participated in various training programs conducted by Cipla, Pfizer, and GlaxoSmithKline. Dr. Thunga has guided more than 20 postgraduate students and presently guiding 7 doctoral students for their research. Presently, Dr. Thunga has 3 industry academic collaborations, especially focusing in development of healthcare-related softwares. We Team ICT welcomes you, sir. The platform is yours. Thank you.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you for actually, especially giving me opportunity. Anyhow, I hope whatever actually this presentation is mainly focused on what we can call it as a not to dictate you, or just to make what is how to go the research and what is a dissertation, what is its importance. So generally, since it is a 2008, we have started our first remembering that postbac and PharmD students. After that, continuously we are finding more and more what we can call it as a revolution in the particularly in the area of what we can call it as a research, especially the research. Why it is especially focused on nowadays research is because research is one of the important component which is most commonly they are asking in all type of what we can call it as in your curriculum. Especially it is a focusing on that since from second year onwards you are trained in the various aspects of what we can call it as a therapeutics, and when come to the fifth year there will be a component will be provided for you for particularly carrying out the dissertation work. So especially as a thing is when I speaks to the dissertation work, it is always call it as a teamwork. So most of the time, many colleges they are telling in M.Pharm they are giving one-to-one work, why in the farm it is a 2 to 3 members together. See, particularly I am telling you, it is because the teamwork will be considered to be the one of the important component. Dissertation is not only for what we speak, is for doing the research. There are many other components is there, especially if you speak with the dissertation, it is a group work. How, whenever I will talk to my students, I always tells that what is the important of the project work. Finally, many of them will tell, sir, we want to publish a paper. See, paper publication is one of the outcome among the dissertation work. But apart from the paper, there is a paper publishing. There are a lot of other components are there. Just I want to speak about what is the importance, since you people are new to that and it is a first batch, as madam already told. So importance is especially to understand each other. So human being is a social animal. You all know that one. So generally our whatever the work nature will start with this dissertation work. How to mingle with each other, how to distribute our work, what all the different component, how we will manage the things. If there is, especially when there is a 3 to 4 people are there, how we will distribute our work, how each one will contribute, what all the contributions. This is one of the learning strategy which is considered to be the important thing in the even what we can call it as a dissertation work. So that's why it is a group work which is either as per the PCI rule, it will be done by 2 or 4 peoples. So individual can be done, but it can be a part of the, if it is a post graduation in like an M.Pharm, it is an individual thing. But even in the PharmD, even if it is a 6 months or 1 year you are carrying out, it has a lot of meaning, because you will understand each other, you will know how to distribute the work, and you know, moreover, you will learn the skills from each other. Somebody is good in Excel, somebody is good in writing. So you will understand each other and you will do it. Suppose somebody tomorrow want to go to any foreign universities or any companies, I can't designate all my work in by alone. We have to work it as a team. So this dissertation work teaches you team working. So this is the first importance of the dissertation working. So apart from that one, you will apply till now all your guidelines and other things. Now the time came how to apply it in a proper way and how to measure it. So the dissertation work is important in understanding the application of the treatment and outcome. Publishing the paper is a secondary issue. We will never tell you how to publish the paper, but apart from that one, you will learn how generally the things of the any treatment will be evaluated. So this is one of the important component of the dissertation work. Then learning strategy, as I told, learning strategy, there are a lot of components are there. You will understand the how to adjust with each other, various skills required, communication skills, because communication skill is one of the problem with nowadays, what we can call it as we have understood. See, definitely everyone is a family of 2 or 3 kids. Maximum nowadays it is reduced to 1. So no one knows how to adjust. See, this is a corporate strategies. Nobody will look your final marks card. As I'm one of the placement officer, I always tells, especially the student is knowing better that one. See, we will look for how you mingle with the people, how you are able to dedicate your work, how you can adjust with that one. If any time is needed, it is how you can able to deliver your things on time. So that's why this is even important in particularly to motivate towards you to in the teamwork. So dissertation, when I tell, I always focus on it is a teamwork. So teamwork, if you are a successful team person, definitely anyone will interested to choose you. So anytime, most of the time, what is I am doing, I am one of the placement officer. When HR will ask me opinion, first he will ask how the person is working in a team. Because especially when the industries or anywhere, even you go for the foreign university also for higher education, the maximum point will be stressed on the teamwork, adaptability. So depending upon the situation, we should able to adapt each other. So this is the main thing of your dissertation work. So dissertation work is involved 2 components. As I told, one is a research, one is your important of development of personal thing, especially like particularly the communication skills, how to adjust with each other. These are all the things which is going to be helpful for the particularly your growth. So it is one of the important component where especially when they involve it as a group project, definitely it will be helpful for the student. So next come to the research. As per the, you know that one, what is a research? Anyone will say research. Research means what? Finding the new things, or it can be a identifying the existing, what we can call it as a modification in that. So as per the general definition available is, it is a defining, redefining problems, formulating hypothesis. Whenever you say ours is a pharmacy practice, what we have a hypothesis. See, hypothesis is something which we will assume it, correct? So suppose if there is a two systems are working, which I will feel this system will be better than the other. So any research questions you assume, that will become the hypothesis. Collecting and organizing, evaluating data. Yes, whenever you want to do the research means there is definitely we require to look for the data. Data means what? Data can be in terms of patient age, demographical data, it can be treatment data, it can be any data. So collecting, organizing, evaluating of data, making the suitable analysis, finally reach the conclusion. This is what the overall definition of a, what we can call it as a research. So certain things, how we get these problems. Whenever somebody is telling, defining, redefining problem, you have to create a research question. Research question is mainly comes from the your problems. What is these problems are? How you identify these problems? So generally, whenever you say, first we are interested in the area. So many times what is happening, when I will ask my students first, when they will come to this, my experience as a particularly as a teacher and delivering to this, especially to the students will tell, sir, I want to do in cancer. Sir, I want to do in what we can call it as an toxicology, because yes, definitely it is my important area and most of my publication is in toxicology. So most of the time what is happening, Girish sir means it is a poison person. So toxicology, oh, whatever is the toxic. But apart from that one, there are some interest students are there. We want to sum this area. So selection of area. Why the area is important? Because whenever you say the area, it is a very, very important to understand the, what we can call it as a, why the area is much important. See, when you say neurovascular or neurological disorders, we will say psychiatric disorders, we will say anything. So area plays important role in the first, probably the research. So when person is interested, it is by habitual, he will be interested. Somebody is studying their second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year. So whenever you go there, because they have the therapeutics in that different vast area will be there. So particularly sometimes during learning strategies, what is happening, he will be interested that topic to him. So that interest is its area, selection of area is generally by own his interest. So it is always not only interest not matters, that sometimes you should have the patient also in the hospital. So I say that sometime I want to do in poisoning, but no poisoning cases means there is no value. So anyhow, selection of area is particularly not only interest, you have to see the feasibility. What is meant by feasibility? Feasibility means whenever you say whether I is able to execute this particular project in that area in this hospital. So there is no meaning that I want to conduct something cancer research in the gynecology hospital. Not possible, correct? So because gynecology hospitals are only focused on particularly the pregnant woman and delivery. So cancer hospitals are entirely different where they have not treated that one. So it's a feasibility is one of the important thing. Then based on that, what is happening is a selection of topic. Now, what you know, everyone is interested in COVID. COVID, something is going on. We will do on COVID. So because we will think that a lot of publications can come that one. But relevantly, I am telling, is it an important thing that all has to jump into same area? So selection of the topic is mainly based on the scarcity of the, what we can call it as a enough results. Maybe it is of your own interest also, or sometime what is happening during the ward rounds, you maybe came across a lot of what we can call it as a problem. You want to identify the solutions. So see, this ward rounds is a wonderful thing, which is generally people will always think, what is this ward round? Because I will tell, ward rounds is one of the main what we can source for identifying your research area. Because what is happening everywhere in your therapeutics, you have, you know, a lot of books, correct? Roger Walker is there, DiPiro is there, everyone will tell the problems with related to solution, but especially you will learn the what we can call therapeutics in the bedside. When you actually go to the patient, and whatever the applicability of the medicine which is according to the situation is entirely different, because patient is not, it is a textbook. Patient is a patient only, because there is a lot of things will be problem will be there with the associated with the particularly what we can call it as a, when you give a specific drug, you will tell when a patient is a diabetic with nephropathy, you have to treat the angiotensin receptor blockers or AC inhibitors. But there are contraindications are there where you can't put that one. Then that time you have to go to the alternative treatment. So that what is the alternative treatment? Suppose guideline says this one, but it is not possible. In that way, how you go ahead? This is an interesting area. Oh, okay, patient is contraindicated. I am going to study patient with contraindicated nephropathy plus hypertension with contraindicated to AC inhibitors. Which drug can be used? That is a research area. Research area is hypertension. Research topic is alternative for AC inhibitors to the, particularly whenever there is a contraindication is existing. So topic will be selected in that way. Next, come to that one, whatever the research questions we have developed, we have to make it a search. Whether our research question is properly actually valid or not. Because of that one, we want to search the literature. Literature, why we are doing? Literature generally doing because of to understand what is a real gap is existing in our present scenario, and whatever work has been done for what we have identified the problem. Suppose somebody is doing on something like what we can call it as a, say that hypertension patient with the CKD, what is a drug of choice? When we put that keywords, definitely there is a lot of research articles will be coming and you will have an answers. CKD with different situations will have different types of drugs can be done. So there are multiple studies about, you say that when you search for the Google or PubMed, you will have thousands of articles which answered almost all the things. Then there is a no meaning that you will have to do the study. It is, I'm talking general format, which is generally how the research is conducting. But it is not required for the PharmD. As I told, dissertation is not only the, for PharmD, it is a learning purpose we are doing. Anyhow, in the learning purpose, you have done something, it will be good. Since I have taken the one of the research as a topic, I have to tell how the steps involved in the research. This is generally for if somebody you are want to do for the doctoral program, PhD program or doctoral program, this is how generally the research will be done. So suppose next, if you have a particularly you have not find out anything on that. Suppose you say that tomorrow somebody is asking, a COVID situation is there, best medicine is required. You will search a lot of articles. Will find there is 1,500 articles are available, but there is a no drug which is proven as an efficacious like that. Then it is understood that, oh, this area is considered to be the hot and there is a no much information is available. Today there are many drugs has been in the market, you know that one, including there is a dexamethasone, there is a methylprednisolone. Along with they are doing it. Now they have came up with dexamethasone is the best. After few days it may change. Now today whatever dexamethasone will be the considered to be the research question. And what they will tell, hypothesis, dexamethasone will be best opportunity. And they will, objective will be, we will study the efficacy of dexamethasone in the COVID patient who is severely ill. Next come to that one, okay, we have decided our objectives, we have done everything. Next come to the study design. What is the study designs? Study designs means is, I'm again going to talk to that one in the future slides. Study design is mainly focused on our how you are planning to conduct the study. It can be a prospective study, it can be a retrospective study, it can be a case control study, it can be a even simple observational study. So study design is generally, it is a method of conducting the study. I'm going to one by one that one, how is a study designs. So particularly once the method has been of the study design is developed, next you will go for particularly the population and sampling. Before that one, there is a lot of ethical issues are there. What is this ethical issues? Ethical issues are particularly when talk to that one, it related to the patients. So probably the ethical issues are, you should not have any select the vulnerable patients. You should properly take the informed consent. That all the processes, which is I'm going to discuss in the last, with respect to the ethical issues of the any study. Anyhow, after ethical issues we have overcome that one, then next you have to do the population and sampling. What is this population and sampling? Suppose in your area, what you can do is, there is a 1 lakh people who is suffering from the diabetes. So I am doing the 5th year my project. I want to take all 1 lakh. Is it possible? No, it is never possible, because in India there is more than 1 crore people will be there who is having with this type of diabetes, hypertension, chronic illness. So we can't study every individual patient. So that's why what we will do is, we will select a part of the patient. That is what we call it as a sampling. Sampling is a part of the population which we will study for the particularly what we can call it as a, to understand the problem in the research. So in that particularly there is a lot of issues will come as per the thing. There may be a confounding factors will be there. There may be a what we can call it as a research tools. Research tools is especially the, when you talk about that one, it is the patient demographical data. So I want to conduct a study on diabetes patients to understand their therapies. So when you say that one, what all the things will particularly come to that specific projects. So I need a set of population around 100 patients. You say I want to go and collect their age, gender, demography, their food habits, their social history. I think so. Social history, everything everyone knows, correct? Social history, that all I'm going to count, and with that I want to compare with the different types of treatment strategies. So I want to specifically fix the variables. Which variables I am going to fix it? Generally, whenever you talk diabetes, it is especially the sugar control. I maybe want postprandial blood sugar. I may want random blood sugar. I want fasting blood sugar. So these are my outcomes. I want to see how much this drug is efficacious. Okay. Then when we are talking about the variables, we will talk about the confounding factor. What is this confounding factors? These are the factors which is generally present in the study, and they have influences the results. Can you give the example? You can ask. Yes, confounding factors are this. Suppose you say patient with diabetes and hypertension you are studying. Patient is taking a what we can call it as a one diabetes drug, one is hypertension drug. So sometimes what is happening, this hypertension drug will have an influence on the particularly the sugar control. So when drug X is having an influence on the body sugar control, that drug is considered to be the confounding factor. So that confounding factor is one of the important thing which is generally existing in the studies. Anyhow, most of the time what is happening is in such cases we will put it as an exclusion criteria in some time. So these all confounding factors will be goes to the exclusion criteria. So bias is especially it is not related to particularly in this type of your dissertation work. Bias is especially useful for the case control studies when you are selecting cases and controls. Most of the in our family dissertation nobody will do the case control studies. Case control studies are usually find it out to identify the risk factors. So especially you want to conduct a I want to see that suppose that who all patient who is vulnerable for COVID for the severe cases and death. What I will do is I will go back to the records of the patients which is already retrospectively, and I will dig up that one all the data and I'll compare it. What all the possible reasons are there, particularly when we say patient is undergoing severe illness of the COVID. So I will compare with the patient and control. So suppose you say that all our patients are belonging to 60 age and we will select a control of 10-year age, it not matches. So there is a no matching between control and case. So it should be equally matched. Suppose if there is at least 60 age, we should have the people with the 50 to 60 age. So that is what we call it as a confounding factor. We suppose you are selecting a lower age people, it is a confounding factor. So particularly like that, so whenever you are doing like that, these are the biases which generally we will face it. So next that one we will do the pilot study. we will take a small population, we will check that whether it is feasible to conduct the study or not. Because most of the time what is happening, our pharmacy students, how they will check is feasibility. They will go to the hospital record sections, they will check how many patients are admitted with that, and they will go to the 1 or 2 records, whether it is proper data is available. With that they will do the studies. Otherwise pilot studies are generally conducted for a long-term studies which is intended for more than 1 or 2 years. Then we will make it as a work plan, how to collect the data, who will collect the data, when it has to be collected, what all is to be collected. Then collection of the data will be there. Then generally analysis, data management or analysis, finally interpretation and results. So this is how generally the steps will be conducted in a scientific research. It is, suppose if there is any doctoral program you are conducting PhD, you have to follow all these results. Since you are having a dissertation, generally what we will do is we will select the area first, then we'll give the importance to the topic. Suppose we will check whether the topic is feasible by checking the patients, then we will put the research questions. We are not going to the literature dig whether it is a feasible or not, so whether it is a important or not. Usually what we will do is we will check important thing is, one is feasibility. Then our idea is to collect the student to a proper data. Even if it is a reported also, we are not bothering, because why it is not here, the main thing is to learn strategy, not to make any innovation. So yes, definitely innovation will be there. When you want to go for higher thing, you can go in your 6th year internship, you can take the project alone, you can plan it properly, and you can do as a separate studies. Next come to the your what we can call it as say, these are the important of the research processes, which is again already I told you how it is all happening. Formulating problems, yes, it is called hypothesis. Reviewing related literatures, generally we will identify the variables you identify, which all the variable I am going to say. It is about depend upon the disease to disease. It can be a demographical data, it can be a laboratory variation. Then specify the population, which population I am going to take it. And finally, you will have to selecting the sample. I am skipping that conducting pilot study because, as I told, dissertation work is not involved in that. So we'll go into the select of population, collecting of data, organizing data, analysis of data. Finally, we will interpret the results. So analyzing of data, when it comes to that one, it is generally done by many ways. You can use the SPSS softwares. You can use even Excel sheets also. So there are many ways where you can interpret your results. So defining problems area, generally, as I told, it is a problem selection is a very, very important thing. Most of your problem selection comes from your wardrooms. So that's why when I will tell my student in the 4th year, as I told, because I am one of the teacher coordinator, I will tell them, particularly you do your rounds properly. You try to understand what is the literature, how the literature is implemented in the patient. Based on that, you will definitely get a lot of questions, because as I know, nothing in our particularly Indian setup is as per going per the guideline. It is not possible because there is a lot of variabilities there. Patients are different age groups, different cultures, what we can call it as a different, what we can call it as economic background. There is a lot of different types of social habits. So when you see this one, there is a lot of variability in the patients. So that is itself is a big area where we can do the research in a proper way. So defining problem is based on your pure experience, or it can be your teacher influence, especially focusing on your research problem area. Then literature review, yes, I think so. Most of them has been done your drug information. What is the importance of drug information? Drug information is because of the identifying the literature review. So whenever you are doing the literature review, important thing is keywords. Google will never understand your full thesis. Google understand only the keywords. So it is important anyone to understand what is the keywords. Suppose you say when a person is conducted a study, diabetes, actually there is a diabetes and hypertension, some drug utilization studies is doing. Generally the keywords are mainly focusing on the diabetes, hypertension, maybe AC inhibitors, like that. So these keywords are considered to be the most important, what we can call it as a in the literature review. So where we will get, sir? You may ask the question where we will get. There is a something called as a PICO system is there. Everyone, today you go and search it, what is a PICO? Problem. Then there will be a what we can call it as a interventions will be there. There may be a comparison is there. There may be a outcome. So a problem is specifically this literature search is based on the PICO model. P is refers for the problem. So suppose a person is suffering from some disease, may you call it as a diabetes. So what we will say is that is diabetes is become problem. Now I want to compare the two treatment arm or two different system. Then one will become intervention, one will become comparator. So suppose you say you want to compare the efficacy of what we can call it as an insulin with type 1 and type in diabetes and versus the oral hypoglycemic. Diabetes is a problem. Interventions will be insulin. Comparator will be any oral hypoglycemic agents. Outcome is definitely the rate of control of diabetes. So this is how the literature search will go. So the literature search is very, very important. There is a lot of materials are available, especially in the literature search. And already you, I think so, you have done your drug information. And this is the very, very important part. And you don't do for your, what we can call it as a dissertation work, but it is an art. Literature search is an art. Because when you put a proper keywords, you get the proper articles and thereby it's possible for you to reach a proper conclusions. So significance, yes, you have to see whenever something you are doing, what is I'm going to contribute for this with the study to the science. This is also important thing. Something what is happening, sometimes what is already done, we want to same thing copy and paste it. And even I have seen some particularly I am interested to say this thing. This especially there are a lot of such things are happening, especially when articles are comes to for me to review. See, there is a one article recently, I don't want to mention the college and journal name. What they have done is they have copy pasted full abstract from a journal and they have just changed the what we can call it as the numbers. Don't do any such type of practices. See, it is considered to be the very unethical and you can be sued for that one. You can't copy any research work and paste in you. So it is always important that you should follow the proper same format, but in your own words. Remember that there is a something issue called it as a plagiarism. You can't do that one. So especially whenever you are to see that one, what is its potential significance to the science, whether I am doing ethical, this is only where I am talking about the ethical. You can't copy anything. Only the what we can call it as you take it as a reference and you can do write in your own words the same thing. Most of the time what is happening, student will don't know how to write, and what is the thing, they will in the name of a paper, they will copy same thing from some other journal, they will paste and they will change their what we can call it as a number and they will send it like that. Such practices are never allowed, because individual article is a copyright you will give to the journal and it is a journal right. Without that their permission, you are copying that one, it is never be what we can call it as you are never allowed. But what the thing is, you can take the information and you can cite it. That is a secondary issues, but that also there is a limitation is that you can't copy the same sentence. You have to edit that sentence and telling that, suppose you say that Girish et al. Has been done a study, it is revealed that this treatment X is found to be the better than Y. You can mention like that. But you can't copy the conclusion of mine article to in your article. You have to reframe the things. And whenever you are quoting to any article, you have to cite that one. It is called as giving a respect to the particular research. And feasibility, as I told, especially the feasibility when you talk about, it is a time, availability of subject, facility, equipment, and money. Since most of our studies are conducting either as a survey or retrospective data analysis, we mainly focus on particularly the time and availability of the subjects. So whenever the study you are planning, you should make sure that that patient should be available there should be a support enough from the hospital end that I can easily conduct the study, and this is the what I am looking for the outcome. So this is what the feasibility is. Feasibility mainly focused on time, because when you plan something, it should not take 3 years. It should be finished within a month, within a 6 months or a year, or maximum you can postpone for a 2 years. You can't drag the study for a long period of time. Population, as I told, there is a population is there, big population is there. In suppose in your area or in your city, there may be a 1 lakh people are there. We can't include everything. So that's why we are taking a part of that population. That is what we call it as a sample. So sampling will be done based on your whatever the patients available in our hospital is considered to be the representative of your specific, what we can call it as a city. Suppose I am in Manipal, correct? You imagine that Manipal whole population is around 2 lakhs. How much people are coming into the Manipal hospital for the treatment? I am going to recruit them, which will be represent the sample. So any portion of the population is called as this thing. So if you see the chart, know what is happening from the population, you are selecting the samples, and generally the sample will be the persons who are participate in the research study, and we will assume that this sample will generalize for the whole population. Means whatever we have found that study that's from the population sample, it will be representing the whole population. That is our assumption. Sometime it will be true, sometime it may not be true. But generally we can't conduct our study in the entire population, because this is a limitation of any research. So we can't conduct a one-to-one study. Suppose there is a 1 lakh people are there, 100 to 500 people I am telling, we will assume that this is representing the sample. This is an assumption every study will have. So now coming to the development of a research problem, when you say the research problem, we will have an idea. I have an idea. I can say I have an idea, I have a new drug which I want to do on my patient. Imagine that suddenly this plant will have a benefit on the COVID. I want to do that particular drug on the people who is suffering from the COVID. But first thing comes, what is the justification you are having? Whether drug is really benefit or not. First of all, what is the thing? Such intervention studies are, we people are not allowed. It comes under clinical trial. But I'm just giving an idea. Some new things you got. Maybe you say that some drug is there which is in what we can call used in the other diseases. Suddenly we will found from the FDA literature that it can be used as an orphan drug for this disease. So particularly when you select such things, you have to make enough work that whether really it is a feasible, whether our system is adopting that one, what all the problems, hurdles. If that problem is I am not able to overcome, what is an idea, how I will go ahead. This is all called, comes under the brainstorming. Brainstorming will be making the proper research plan with the idea we got, based on the considering the ethical issue, hospital practice, and availability of the patient, with considering their safety. Understood what I'm telling? So it's a brainstorming is an idea will ever what you can call emerges. Suddenly I will sitting in a room, I will get this idea, but whether really you can apply that one. Whenever you do the project, always remember ethical, because it is a patient who is believing you and taking the treatment. As per the ethics, you can't conduct any trial on the patient unless it is approved by the DCGI or something like that. No, that's what I'm telling. It should be ethical things will come there. Whether it is really feasible for the carrying the study, whether it is ethical enough. So there are a lot of issues are there, especially which come to that, particularly when you develop a research question. You have to consider the several factors. Based on that, a research questions will be developed. So once this research question is developed, then that will you convert it as an objective. So imagine that there is a group of asthmatic patients are there. We want to say what we can call it as steroids having better results when compared to the combination of steroids plus what we can call it as a your salbutamol combination. We want to study that ipratropium plus salbutamol is not efficacious as that of when compared to that of the steroid combined with ipratropium and what we can call it as salbutamol. So there are two arms are there. One is where without steroid, one is with steroid. So our idea is to say that steroids plus combination will be better when compared to that of the without steroids. So one arm consisting of salbutamol plus ipratropium bromide, another group is consisting of steroid plus salbutamol plus ipratropium. So that two arms, I want to say that addition of the steroid will have a efficacy. This is my hypothesis. Then how I am converted an objective? Objective will be, it is specifically related to the hypothesis. Then I will say my objective will be efficacy of addition of the steroid over the salbutamol and ipratropium bromide. So that will be the become objective. So how you select the objective? Whenever you are selecting an objective, it should have a measurable. What is meant by measurable? Means I can able to collect the data which can measures the efficacy. When you say asthma, I will have an what we can call it as a lung function test. I can collect as a data. Correct? So, but it should be measurable. I can't say that patient feeling I can't measure. Patient feeling can be measurable, but I can't measure with the laboratory data. It has its separate tool where we call it as a quality of life. So that is entirely different. So it depends upon the objective should be measurable. Whenever you are deciding the objective you should fix a tool which can be measurable. So hypothesis is similar to that of that one. But what is the thing is here our assumption. This assumption is which will be later converted into an objective. So come to that now epidemiological study design. I feel it is one of the important component for you to know. When you say, so there are mainly two types of studies. One is observational studies, one is experimental studies. So when you say observational studies, if you say it has a case report, it has a case series, it has a cross-sectional studies. Generally, when most of our studies are cross-sectional, okay? So experimental studies are generally, it is a community trials and clinical trial, that is we are not doing it, but analytical studies are including cohort and case control studies. So case report means what? Case report is application of a drug on a single patient. So case reports always represents a single entity of a patient. Suppose you say that there is a new drug has some adverse effect on a single patient. So single patient data is considered to be the case report. Suppose what is a case series? More than one patient. If there is same thing reports are available, that is called case series. Cross-sectional studies are nothing but you are comparing two groups. AC inhibitor versus calcium channel blockers in control of blood pressure in hypertensive patient with the nephropathy. That is cross-sectional. Then again cohort is a big study which is considered towards to be the years together. So I say that there is some new emerging diseases are there which we want to find out the progression and outcome. So it will be followed from the day 1 to up to 30 years. Cohort studies can run up to 30 years, and sometimes what is happening, investigator who created the study may not be there at the end of the study. So it has a lot of follow-ups. It has a lot of other things. So here longitudinal study, it is called a longitudinal study, which is conducting by throughout the years. It can be a registry, it can be something else. So because it is generally used to understand the disease progression, that cohort studies. Case control, as I already discussed that time, it is already some disease occurred and you want to check what all the factors affecting. So you are going for retrospectively collecting that data. Next, come to that particularly what we can call it as a descriptive studies are generally used whereas studies are generally used for finding the hypothesis testing. So anyhow, you need not bother about much this one. But study designs are important. But come to that particularly hypothesis testing is not at all required. you will more read in your, particularly in the epidemiology and biostatistics that time. So particularly the types of observational studies, I come to this one. What is the difference between prospective and retrospective? Many one will tell that, sir, prospective studies are considered to be the most best. Somebody will tell, sir, there is a no meaning in retrospective study. I'm telling type of study is not matters. Even you can ask my student there, whatever we have published the data, it's all from retrospective study. Especially the things are important, how you collect the data, how you organize the data, how you evaluate and how you write it. It's not the study design. In fact, when I say prospective, it is the most difficult one because there is a challenge that you may get the limited number of patients. Whereas retrospective study, already treatment has been done. There is already everything has been done. So probably what is the thing is, you have to just go back, you have to collect the data and you have to analyze the things. So particularly, these are the prospective and different types of retrospective. You need not bother about that one. Just want to kept a slide. So cross-sectional studies can go in a both way direction, whereas case control studies are always randomized control studies, and what we can call it as a cohort studies are generally in the prospective nature. What you understand, what you need to understand the research. So why you require that one? Since you are now in clerkship, I think so you are entering for the clerkship. So you may ask, what is the difference between ward rounds and clerkship? See, there is a not much differences are there, since what we expect is in that up to 4th year, you are undergoing the learning processes. In 2nd year, you have a pharmacotherapeutics 1, third year, you have a pharmacotherapeutics 2, and 4th year, you have a pharmacotherapeutics 3. When you come to the 5th year, you have done everything with the, particularly what you say for the entire therapeutics is over for you, and you are ready for understanding the theory with the ward rounds of the patient. That's a clerkship, that's all. Clerkship is similar to that of your ward rounds, where you are actively involved in physician interaction. You are giving them queries. So whatever the queries are, they are giving to you, you will solve them. You are doing the patient counseling. You are doing all the activities, particularly in the during that time. So here we assume in the 5th year, student is understand the therapeutics have completely, because I think so in 4th year you will cover all the diseases. So up to 4th year you will undergoing for different what we call it as a system, and in the 4th year you will completely with the pharmacotherapeutics 3 you will complete the all the disease you will cover. So in the 5th year onwards you will start with the different what we can call it as an wards, or based on your ward rounds will be based on sometime your project, sometime it will be based on your what we can call it as a interest of your teachers or whatever is there your interest. So based on that, ward rounds will be generally planned. See, since in Manipal is most of the our ward rounds are specifically related to medicine only. We don't have any specialty ward rounds in that, because specialty will be done in only 6th year. So first, what we will tell the students to understand what is happening in the wards. So ward rounds are considered to be the very, very important. So clerkship means it is you will be active, including from providing a drug information, including from the patient counseling. Sometimes you are involving actively with your juniors in the giving them bedside teaching and all that things, and whatever the interventions, that all the things you will do actively in your what we can call it as a clerkship and the internship. So when you say research, as I told, you have to understand the patient. Understanding patient is rather than important than the disease. What is a patient is, how reacts. See, when you go with your ward rounds, especially you put a small coat and you talk with them, half English, half your local language, they like you more. In fact, I have observed most of the truth they will tell to you rather than the doctors. What we understood is, we have conducted recently one survey 5 years back. We want to know how many people are taking Ayurveda along with the diabetes. When we search for the what we can call it as for the history of the what we can patient chart, we not found it is there. One sentence will be that patient is only taking the allopathic medication. There is no Ayurveda. But when we talking them nicely for a day, 2 day, third day, he will start slowly revealing his what we can call as history. I'm taking this one, but I didn't told the doctor. So because it is always that you are more free with them, and most of the time what is happening, your history will be more accurate than the even sometimes PG's this thing. So that's why I'm telling. It is not that doctors are not working, but sometimes they won't reveal everything to everyone. That's what the patient nature is. So understanding patient is very, very important in the wardrobes. So drug information query, I told why it is important, because it will help you in understanding the literature. PICO format. Always remember that PICO is a main 4 keywords with that you can win the literature survey. Intervention, definitely yes. Application of your knowledge towards the patient treatment. How this drug is useful, how this drug is not better. So this will becomes in terms of an intervention. So I will talk about the potential areas. See, there is a most of the things are potential areas in pharmacy practice, the drug utilization studies. I'm telling, when you initiate with the small studies, because here, as I already discussed, it is to not to find out the problem for the study. It is to understand what is the research is, how I can apply the component of the research in the benefit of the society. So particularly, what is the thing is in drug utilization studies, you will understand whether there is a proper utilization of the adhering the guidelines, there is any drug cost is affecting the treatment, any prevention related or the medication related problems are there, effectiveness of the therapy. So many things you can do it. So potential, there are a lot of areas. This is a big lecture again, how to select the areas. So again, antibiotic utilization studies are there. You will that mainly focusing what all the different antibiotics used for specific diseases. What is their what we can call it as a susceptibility, rate of mortality, and how we can choose the antibiotics. These are all the major challenges, especially in the antibiotic utilization studies. Maybe you can sometimes focus on the community-based studies, where we will conduct the surveys. We will say sometime we will conduct the occupational hazard, whether really the occupation is having any effect. Because why I am telling this occupation hazards are because this is one of my strong area where I always work with the farmers, and I will check that they are the one of the potential group for various chronic illness, because since they are using the pesticides, and that is one of the example, pesticide associated with any chronic illness, any neurological problems is an example for the occupational hazard. Or sometimes what we can call it as any workers who is exposed to particularly lead industries. These are all the things that can be conducted as a survey, basic understanding of the health issues. That is knowledge assessment questionnaires. I want to know about the, now I think so you are getting many questionnaires, especially related to COVID, knowledge assessment, that is called KAP, knowledge assessment practice questionnaires. So it can be done with any diseases. You can do for COPD, you can do for what we can call it as an even cardiac patients, diabetes patients, knowledge assessment and practice. What they, how much you can say that there is a simple question you will develop about, you will ask them about the disease, about their lifestyle, then you will educate them. Again, you will assess the same question to them. So you will say that this much improvement is there after I am giving the education. So these are the things which especially holds in the knowledge assessment studies. Even hospital pharmacy, very good area where there is a problem related to dispensing. What is very effectiveness of the counseling is there. What is the medication returns are coming. Sometimes drugs are coming back. What is happening that one? How to manage the inventory control. What is the rate of what we can call as an substitution to a specific brand. What is the effect on the patients? So these are all the areas which is having a lot of studies. Apart from that one, even you can say that what is the behavior of the patient when he is getting the second brand rather than that one. So what is the role of generic now compared to that of the brand? That all that is a research area. There is a lot of topics are especially this one. Yeah, pharmacovigilance, this is the one thing. Drug safety studies. You can say that what all the side effects of a specific drug on a specific population. Suppose somebody is taking a cefepime as an antibiotic. What all the side effects? Or sometimes you look for the patients are has been prescribed with the long term, what we can call it as an antacids. What all the effect of these antacids for a long term of the patient somebody is taking? We will tell that who all prescribed with the what we can call it as an antacid, or any side effect they have faced, adverse drug reaction, drug dosage adjustment, especially in the kidney patients, in the liver patients. So these are all the especially related to drug safety studies. Maybe a clinical toxicology, as I told, poisoning cases, epidemiology, management, toxic effect of poison in humans. Yeah, genomic economic studies. Yes, this is one of the emerging area. As I told, we will focus on the cost, how this cost is affecting the patient behavior. Definitely, when you say prescribe with 1,000 rupees of a specific brand, and if this is available for 100 rupees, definitely patient will prefer 100 rupees. So how it is going to their opinion about the patient quality of life with this specific brand versus. This is a good area where two brands will be compared with the quality of life. So these are all the areas which is generally making that one. Again, it is a kinetic studies, blood studies we will do it. Generally, it's all not required for a particularly the PharmD, but this is a general area where we'll study the blood level for a specific drug with outcome, population model development with the dosage regimen and other things. Yeah, we have a 1, 2, 3 PhD program running on that pharmacokinetics, but again, it is a challenging area, especially when like COVID will come. Our students are sitting in college and they are doing some literature. So especially these are all considered to be the very challenging. Health and IT, yes. This is again how the health information can be developed into a proper format of an IT. Maybe a development of an app, maybe a risk assessment tools, maybe sometime, maybe you can say that development of a case studies for students, patients. So this is again another challenging area which is coming up with the lot of work. Yeah, this is again I am telling you, this is my area, health and IT. I'm expert. I'm not say expert, but I'm interested in particularly the health IT. But definitely yes, my area is even toxicology also. So these two areas I will work extensively, especially for the related to this one. Or if you see my papers, especially related to focus on either toxicology or health in IT. Pharmacogenomic studies, it is again advanced version of the studies, which is going to be a genetic modification of this one and other things. Anyhow, we should have a facility of that one, then only we can able to conduct that study. If you remember that when you check the feasibility, there we have discussed about the equipment facility. So that facility is also important for this one. Now coming to that ethical consideration, yeah, this is you have to see this. This is a Belmont report which says that you have to respect the person. What is a respecting a person? So because you are using his data, and you should able to make what we can call as assure that patient that particularly there is a voluntary participation. You have to tell that you have to take the informed consent. You have to protect his identity, confidentiality, and you should able to give an option that if person don't want to participate in this study, you should not force him. So this is what called as an ethical issues. This is only holds good for prospective study. When come to the retrospective study, only thing is important is protection of privacy and confidentiality. When you talk about observational studies, you should have all the 4 components of voluntary participation, informed consent, protection of the privacy and confidentiality, and right to witness. But if suppose if the person is a retrospective things you are carrying out, then protection of the privacy and confidentiality is important. So it is, we will call it as a respect for a subject which we are taking. You should see the justice. You should see the what is the benefit I am going to give that one. Suppose if the treatment existing and you are comparing, it's fine, and you should not start any new treatment, as I told, which is we are not sure and we want to try it. It is not acceptable anywhere. And particularly this with, I want to say, whenever you are doing the research, always remember the ethics. Ethics is an important thing where we have to respect the people. So it's mainly the thing, whenever you are taking a patient, you should think, it is a my family. Whether I allow to spoil the things. So you have to be careful. That's why there is anything is there. You any survey nowadays, what is happening? Any studies, you have to take the ethical committee approval. That is, even is a survey is also that it is now mandatory that you have to take it as per the rules. So there is an ICMR guidelines are there for ethical issues. Download, or if you need, it has to be given as a separate thing, because there is a lot of issues are there in this thing. I can't cover it in a 1 hour because it is again big topic where all the ethical hurdles and there how to manage, how to protect the data. See, remember that it should not be you prepare as something what we can call as a patient profile. You are entering the data, never thrown it somewhere. You give respect that one, and you make sure that it should be properly protected. Data will be anonymized and other. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
It
so
was a
much.
fantastic learning, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. It was very informative session. Sir has explained us about importance of PharmD project, selection of project in field of pharmacy practice, and explained the various research tools, epidemiological study design, study information queries, and pharmacovigilance. He has enlightened us about basic ethical principles involved in pharmacy practice projects by using value. Thank you so much, sir. Our students will ask questions if they have some queries about selection of projects.
If you have any queries, you can ask me.
Thanks a lot, sir, for your fantastic session. You gave a very in-depth ideas about how do we select the research projects, what is the main intention of carrying out these research projects. I'm sure students have really, and even we as faculty members have been benefited a lot with your session today. Sir, I had a question actually. When you said that you can actually do survey based research projects, so do they, I mean, or can they include outpatient surveys, because like most of the students will be actually doing the projects based on the inpatient cases that they will have. Yeah, but then like can we, like
Madam?
as you just mentioned, yes sir,
What is the wording?
yeah.
So survey based, I didn't get it. Hello, madam.
Yeah, yes sir.
Can you repeat it? Can you repeat it?
Yes, sir. Sir, the thing is, like you just mentioned about the survey-based research projects, and then you said that you do a lot of work on, say, farmers, and then like they are quite exposed to the pesticides, and then you can do like some survey-based studies, like based on their longevity or the disease pattern that the farmers will face. So but this type of study actually becomes outside of the hospital type of survey. So can the students do this kind of studies, or they have to necessarily base their projects on inpatient files and the patients that are actually hospitalized, and then by doing the survey of the or retrospective kind of studies?
Yeah. What I suggest you, madam, is generally particularly survey based also accepted everywhere. The thing is, for farm for us, we are generally giving retrospective studies.
Okay.
And sometimes nowadays what we are planned is, because we are in the 6th year also, we will plan in a such a way that they can conduct the study even after 6th year also they will extend their studies. So idea is to get the more data and it is distributed. survey-based studies can be conducted. Survey-based studies can be conducted, provided only thing this condition like COVID, you not alone, may not be allowed to go to the community. That's all. Because one of the disadvantage of the survey-based is you have to take the AP questionnaires are allowed, madam. There is something called, you can call it as an education based. As I told, no, understand the baseline practice, then try to develop intervention like an education, then give it again the questionnaire so that how much improvement is there. That will be the such type of thing will be better.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Anything else, madam?
Yeah. One of our students wants to ask a question. Pooja ma'am, can you just take it up? It's there in the chat box. Okay, I'll just take it up. I don't know. Pooja ma'am seems to have some problem with the internet. So, one of the students is asking, sir said about pharmacogenomic studies and its feasibility. How we can approach for this kind of studies?
As per the thing, my knowledge, genomics requires some expert from the who is in the genetics. The collection of data, collection of blood and other things, how to run that. Because pharmacy practice, nobody will be having experience.
Right.
So there should be some genetic person, somebody who is there. Along with that, you can
Sir, your voice is not that audible.
one, because you should require money, lot of money on that.
Okay. Sir, your voice is breaking a bit. So is there any internet issue your side?
Maybe there.
Yeah.
Now clear? Now clear?
Pooja ma'am, Suvarna ma'am, can you mute yourself, please?
Is it clear?
There's a lot of echo, sir. So it's we are unable to hear you clearly, actually.
Now?
I think it's better. I think it's better.
Yeah. The thing is, when you say genomic studies, you require a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah, that is a one thing, and expert is there in that area. And when you are planning for a doctor studies or PhD is better. May not be useful for a small duration of like maybe 1 year. It may not be possible.
Okay. Okay. But then I think if we do, or are there any hospitals where they are conducting these kind of studies?
No, actually in Manipal, there are many studies conducted on the genomics.
Okay.
But if you want to, you can say, suppose you want to do the study in your own setup of hospital, you have to check that hospital whether they are conducting or not.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because Manipal is never able to the outside student to come and do the project here.
Okay. Okay.
Because what is happening is in hospital, and there are a lot of other branches also there. More than 300 projects every month come to the ethical committee.
Yeah. So there's a lot of echo actually. It's very difficult. I mean,
Sir,
there are
may I
students.
request, is your screen on laptop also on? If possible, you can leave from that screen so as that only from mobile you can be connected then. It could be the reason of that echo.
Don't know. Maybe disturbance may be there.
Sir,
Now
now it
it
is
is
clear.
getting
Yeah,
better.
anyhow,
Now it
Yeah.
is quite clear.
yeah, yeah. Genetic studies, as you asked, no,
Now
madam.
it's clear.
Yeah, genetic studies you have asked, no, madam. Particularly
Yeah.
genetic studies problem is, one is the involvement of expert in that area. One is, as I told, it is a money related, and
Yeah.
probably suppose say that some studies they already suppose there are some area where there is a genetic testing is important. In such area you can take and you can do it. Otherwise, no, for PharmD investing that money and getting the thing, it may not be easy. And moreover, there is a lot of problems are there with the ethical issues. See, when you say genetic means, there is a lot of ethical issues will come. Why you are
Okay.
using that genetic things? What is your outcome? If already there is a such relationship established, why you want to take it again conducting the study? Because it is a generally, definitely it is a matter of concern, because genetic studies are always having the issues.
Okay. Okay.
Because as I am telling, if suppose any doctoral degree programs are there, especially you want to conduct in a large quantity and you have a fund, definitely it will be a useful. Otherwise, no, pharmacogenomics is itself, it is a challenging one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. Only thing is,
For the-
if they become more common, then I think it will help a lot in personalized medication, right? I mean,
uh,
if we
frankly
have a
speaking,
good,
frankly speaking, India is a country where there is a very difficult for purchasing one metformin also per day.
yeah.
Have a 30% or 40% of the population, which is
Yeah.
generally having a problem with the personalized medicine. You can't achieve that one. In a now condition, you never achieve in another 20 years.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
True.
there is a lot of areas are there, which is apart from the personalized medicine. It is looking to be a term is good, but I'm telling, see, we also coming with a lot of publications, which is all daily related problems. You say, suppose a patient is there in with anything, his daily lifestyle itself is a problem.
Right.
If you carefully analyze it, if you do it in a proper way and you will educate them and you see that one, 90% of the drug can be cured with only your lifestyle with the minimum medication.
Right.
There is a lot of issues are there, because personalized medicine, see, especially comes to that when it is a cancer, like that drugs it will come.
Yeah.
That will be, but when come to that particularly diabetes and other chronic illness, for a people it is very difficult to this one. I don't feel anyone is, because nowadays though anyhow again it's a problem is initiated because of the COVID everything. You
Yeah.
see that instead of this one you can compare. See, there is a generic Aushadhi they have set up, Janaushadhalaya. There is a brand is going on. Compare that brand is how it is really affecting. Any things are there.
Yeah.
And for one more area, I will tell, there is a product defects in the market. A lot of
Yeah.
problems are in the products. Nobody is watching that one. See, there is a big areas are there. If you focus, there is a lot of areas are there, which is with a limited stipulated area, we can contribute a lot. Even I am telling, frankly, I'm telling, when terms are looking very good, particularly genomics, kinetics, even I will tell my students it will be very good to look, but what exactly we are contributing that field, it again based on the things, availability and other things. And output is also sometimes may not be much effective in that. Suppose you say digoxin has a effect on the cardiac arrest patients. They may say
Yeah.
something like, but you can't stop the digoxin, you have to give.
Right. Right.
This is what even physicians also tells. That's why I told them war downs, let them go through. War downs is an important component where they will understand the patient
Right.
and understand the physician and patient relationships. I feel
Yeah.
that is a very, very important component for them. It's a
Yeah.
very, very
Yeah.
important. See, even there also, any company also they are going, they will mainly ask what you know about the patient. See, everyone knows about the drug. Everyone knows about the everything, but no one knows about the patient.
Right.
Because MBBS people are not going for the job. Only healthcare people are there, especially mainly involved. Next comes to the PharmD, who knows much more clinical when compared to the other what we can call it as a paramedical.
True. True.
So that will be one of the good area. Even I also feel, because this is my 10th year experience, because I am
Yeah.
one of the completely done in MCOS, Manipal College of Pharmaceutical Sciences. I completed 2008 in my MPharm, and
Yeah.
I joined as a faculty. 2013, I have finished my PhD, and now I have 7 doctoral students. Whatever is there, what I understood is now there is a lot of areas are there other than these where we really can contribute. Simple thing I
Okay.
will tell you. We have conducted a one PhD program where education strategies we have tried. We have tried for classroom. We have tried for what we can call as a blended learning. We tried for web-based everything. And you know, the response for the PA students who is in the classroom and blended learning are considered to be the much more best. Why? Because there is a mentor will be there.
Right.
So in web-based, when you allow them, they won't complete.
Yeah.
Area everywhere they are telling web-based is best. But research says web-based is not that much supportive. Even if you
Right.
want to do it as a web-based, you should do the blended learning.
Yeah.
Blended learning is a combination of both web
Absolutely
plus and monitored. So I'm telling simple, these are the research areas where there is a lot of information you will get.
True, sir. Thanks a lot for your insight on this. Sir, just one different question. Actually, because we understand that you've been working as a placement officer as well. Can you just throw some light on what kind of placements happen after the PharmD course?
No,
As in, which
madam.
are the sectors where people work?
Especially this is a one question commonly everyone will ask. So
Yeah.
there is a lot of scopes are there, especially in the medical writing.
Okay.
Medical writing means it is a writing of protocols,
Yeah.
designing a case record forms for the trials.
Yeah.
It can be preparing the regulatory reports, especially clinical reports. It can be either preparation of the leaflet for the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
It can be what we can call it as a patient counselings. Many projects now, what has happened is, see, there is a earlier clinical trial they will conduct and they will try the post-marketing surveillance. You may heard about that one. Now,
Yeah.
post-marketing surveillance has been get one more type of new type of a route where what is happening is you will constantly enroll the patient after the drug is approved and you are follow up the patient for 2 years. And in between, you will talk to the patient regularly by calls. You will record their all feelings and you will understand how this drug is affecting them, in what all possible ways it is affecting. It may be a drug cost, it can be any side effect related thing where our students will be going more.
Okay.
So it is called as post-marketing surveillance related job opportunities. And maybe like an pharmacovigilance, another area, clinical trials, insurance is another sector growing.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the areas where especially they are playing role first important in that. Yeah. Sometime even some bank insurance they have used to ask, especially because now it is insurance is highly diverted towards the cost cutting also. This is one thing. It is going to be a next major change in the India.
Right.
They till now they have not asked for any cost cutting. Now they will ask for the price of the drug.
Right.
It's going to, yes.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot. Uh, I don't think there are any more questions. Let me just go through once.
I have a question. It's Pooja.
Yeah. Pooja. Is Pooja there?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah. You just go ahead, Pooja.
So I have a question. What are the approaches to conduct the pharmacoeconomics project?
What?
Pooja, can you be a bit more loud because your voice is not very clear?
Hello. The voice.
Pooja, we
So
cannot hear
better
you.
I'll post my project.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
you can type it.
Yeah, she's doing that.
Sir, by the time she types, let me tell you that yes, you have given us a complete clarity and guidance about the research topics to be decided. And I know now students exactly know after these 3 days webinar, like what they are going to do in the clerkship. So thanks a lot for this guidance and clarity about the research project, so that all of us, will have a will start thinking in that particular manner, and will refer to more hospital pharmacy journals also now. So thanks a lot for that, Giri sir.
I think so. She told type something. What are the general approaches to conduct the pharmacoeconomic study? Hello.
Yes, yes, right, sir. Yes,
sir.
what you
Yeah,
say is
Just
right.
written that.
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. What I will do is I will send one guideline to madam so that they can go through that thing. It's a most commonly we were doing the either cost effective analysis or cost benefit analysis. So commonly most pharmacoeconomic studies called either cost effectiveness and cost benefit analysis. What we can do is just the article effectiveness and cost benefit analysis. Based on that, they will check it out. See, what they will do is they will take the two drugs or two drugs of different class. They will compare the of the total treatment. They will compare with the lab and they will compare the quality of life. Quality of life means how the patient feels about it. I think so. That will be the general format how they will follow. Is it clear?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Anything is required, letter to write mail, I will respond it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, it will be great if you could send the guidelines regarding this, so I can circulate it to everyone. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I don't think there are any more questions now. So I think we should conclude the session. And sir, thanks a lot for once again for accepting our invitation and making it so good and so informative. I'm sure we all have got benefited a lot with this. And sir, we would be very thankful if you keep on guiding us if we have any problems, or as we start deploying the projects to the students, if we come across any difficulties, we will surely like to approach you for that.
No issues. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
A lot of things can be done without any patients also.
Yes, sir.
Even that is also true. Without patient,
Yeah.
there is a lot of things can be done with the existing literature itself. It's also important.
Okay.
There is something called as a meta-analysis, systematic review. So many things are there.
Okay.
It can be
I
the
think
also.
this time it will be more useful, no, sir, because going to the hospitals might be a bit difficult and challenging this year. Yeah.
It can be done. That can be done. It can be done.
Okay.
So,
Okay, sir.
so project is only to get an idea. That's all. It's not a.
Sir, so only when we are asking for, only when we need to say ask questions to the patients, or if we have to do the observational studies, only then we need to actually take the ethics committee approval, isn't it?
As per the now, we are taking for everything.
Okay.
Because why we are telling is, see, be always safer side. That is best. Anyone can challenge tomorrow. See, suppose you are going for survey. Anyone can challenge anything. You have an ethical committee, nobody will talk. That's all.
Okay.
Ethical committee is not a burden. It is make ourselves free from any ethical issues. That's all. Finish. We have conducted study as per the ethics. That's all. We have to ethical committee permission is to just to support us, to protect us. That's all. So we have conducted as per the ethics, and we have abide all the rules. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody can challenge us, correct? Tomorrow, otherwise, nowadays, with the simple your COVID itself, that how much issues are coming with our Arogya Setu app, because they are telling that informations are misutilized. Why that required? If you go to the things, there is no need not worry about that. Only you have to submit the protocols and other some requirement. That's all. It's a easy thing, and it is always we will be in safeguard. That's all.
Okay.
Of the ethical issue.
Okay. Sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Yeah. So thanks a lot. Kannur sir,
Yeah.
would you like to give concluding remarks?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Dr. Tunga, it has been a great learning for all of us. Actually, this is a new area where we are treading into, and your all inputs have been very helpful, and our students as well as we as team, faculty members have learned a lot many things about these all aspects. Few of the things have been focused by you are really very exciting, and I'm sure that in the coming next 1 or 2 years, whatever the projects the students are going to take, they will surely be benefited out of all your talks. So we are extremely thankful to you on behalf of Team ICP, our management, principal, and all the faculty members. Thank you so much, sir. And we look forward for a very long-term and a great association with you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.